I think we're hearing about double masking now because of the new variants, which are more transmissible than the original version. And so what this means is that it's more important than ever to wear a good quality mask that fits well and filters out particles well.
Okay, and I wanted to ask you a little bit about how adding layers essentially changes the efficacy of masks.
With every layer that we add to a mask, it's like adding, each layer is like an obstacle course that the particles have to get through. You have to shrink yourself down to a microscopic size and think about trying to navigate through these different the different fibers in the weave. And so if I add another obstacle course, it just adds another barrier and another place where particles can get trapped before they make it through to the other side.
Okay, and do you have like specific percentages of like adding layers? I think I was looking at
Sure.
maybe a CBS article or something that was talking about this, and I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, if you have a layer that's maybe 50% effective at blocking particles, like it blocks half of them, if you layer two of those on top of each other, now you block 75% of them. And if you add another layer, then you're blocking almost 90% of the particles that get through. Now, what's important to remember when you're adding these layers is that the mask still needs to be breathable. You need to be able to easily pull air in and out through those layers, because if you can't, then the air is going to try to short circuit and go around the sides. And in that case, you lose the benefit of these filtering layers.
Okay. I kind of liked this quote that I read, and I'm not even sure where it was, that the air had to follow a tortuous path. Can you say something about that to me?
Yeah. Um, when the virus is trying to get through a filter when the virus is trying to get through a layer of your mask, it has to follow some tortuous path through the fibers that make up that material. And the air is flowing really around this like an obstacle course, almost like cones in a race car course, where it has to really bend to make those turns, and the particles can't make all those bends, and they end up crashing into the fibers of the material.
Cool. I have never heard it visualized in that sort of way, so I like that. Let's also talk about how important is fit.
Fit of a mask is extremely important, because if you have gaps on the sides or around your nose, then the air is just leaking in through those gaps and it's not passing through the material. So you almost might as well not be wearing a mask, or wearing a mask with you're wearing a mask with a big hole in it.
Got it. Um, this is kind of a personal annoyance, but what do you make of those people who are wearing neck gaiters or bandanas still?
Neck gaiters and bandanas were, I think, a good start to mask wearing last year, when we were really just trying to do anything we could to get lots of people to wear masks, and we wanted to make it easy. And they are partially effective at blocking particles, but now at this stage in the pandemic, when there's so many people around who are infected and we have these more easily transmissible variants of the virus, we need to improve our face covering. So that means using something that has a really good filtering layer and a good fit.
Okay, and for all those people who maybe are thinking, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm just going to keep doing the same thing as normal, what message would you have for them right now?
With the new variants, if we just keep doing the same thing that we were doing before, we're then at a much higher risk of getting the virus. At least that's what we've seen in the UK, for example, and other places where they've seen steep increase in the number of cases and then unfortunately in the number of deaths. So in order to keep that from happening, we need to improve our masks and really be vigilant about following all the public health guidelines, which means distancing and avoiding crowds and ensuring good ventilation, washing our hands, and wearing that mask, covering our noses and mouths anytime we're indoors sharing the air with other people.
Okay, I think that's the end of my questions. I'll leave it at that unless there's anything you want to say that I haven't asked you about.
No, I think we're good.
Okay,
I do want to say something.
Yeah.
With mask fit, some of the important things are to make sure that you have a metal bridge that bends around the nose. That really helps improve the fit and reduce leakage. The other thing you can do is to use something that actually ties around the back of your head and not just around your ears, because you're able to get a tighter fit that way.